Hello and welcome to the Week 6 NFFL recap. Um, Changing things up a little bit from now on. I've decided that I'm going to actually make two recaps per week instead of just one. There's two reasons I thought for this. First reason, I'm doing previews on Tuesday. There's so many trades and this is such an active league that I'm actually doing my preview analyses on teams that don't actually in fact exist anymore. So it's kind of pointless to do them that early in the week. The other reason is I was thinking that instead of one longer, 13 to 14 minute video, you guys might enjoy, some shorter videos like 2, 5, or 6 minute videos spaced out during the week. And I think that the league might enjoy that a little bit more than one lengthier video. So that's the route I'm going to take. So you can look forward to multiple updates per week, probably Tuesday and Fridays, something along those lines of shorter nature. So hopefully that'll be a success. First off, I want to congratulate Matt Cameron. I don't think he's actually going to watch this video, being on his honeymoon right now, but he just got married last Saturday, and that's pretty cool. So definitely want to give him congratulations here on the recap, man. So I hope it went well and you enjoyed it. And the big thing this week is that there are no more undefeated teams in the NFFL, so the dreams of perfection are gone. So with that, I'm going to go on to the recap. First up, we have Eskimo Brothers at Fear Heights. And at first glance, if you didn't watch the matchup closely, which most people probably didn't because it's not your match, it looks like I blew Height out. But in reality, it was a very, very close match. And it came down to Monday Night Football, and there was a point in the third quarter where Moss scored a touchdown, and Height had it cut to less than 10, and I was actually really nervous, knowing that 50 yards and a touchdown for Moss, if Harvin and LT didn't do much the rest of the game, was basically gonna have me lose. But fortunately, Harvin went crazy, and it wasn't an issue, and I won pretty handily. Basically, I own Height. I'm now on an 8-0 run in all fantasy sports. Height hasn't actually beat me since November 15th of last year. It's been almost a whole year since he's beat me, so I had to throw that plug in there for sure. All pros in this match were Chris Johnson, Miles Austin, Percy Harvin, Van Terry, Moss, and the Eagles defense. Bench warmers, Schaub, not doing much this week at all, neither did Clark. And the Ravens, D, Spiller, and Hester all had underperforming weeks. Next up, we have Team Hasselhoff at Gridiron. And honestly, this game was over pretty early. Both Forte and Nix had monster games early on, and it was going to be pretty much all she wrote for this game. So Matt gets the win there. And then we have the Oracle at Fox Sundays. And this is another match that was close heading into Monday night. But Fox Sundays, what I call fantasy special teams, let him down. I refer to fantasy special teams as basically parts of your team that people don't normally draft or trade for necessarily, being defense, kicker, and for a lot of teams, tight end. I consist that as a fantasy special teams, and they didn't even combine for 10 points for Dan. So when you lose a pretty close match, that's what's going to cost you the game there. So that's pretty much the story there. For Chris, we had Philip Rivers and Steve Johnson and Mike Williams play very well, and Dan had Orton. He's been a surprise stud this year, and T.O. have pretty solid weeks. So heading over to the Landry division, we have the Ninja Turtles at Weapon X. Andrew and Wes going head-to-head in the mini rivalry week. This was yet another close Monday night game. We had several of these this week, which was kind of nice since most weeks in the past have been just kind of basically done by Sunday evenings. Um, this also had one of the craziest twists I've ever seen in a match because Andrew had Selleck and Wes had McCoy. And on back-to-back plays, there was an interesting twist that basically determined the game. The first play was a McCoy rushing touchdown that got called back for a Selleck hold. So Selleck doing well for the Ninja Turtles by negating points for McCoy for Wes. And the very next play, Selleck got blown up in his block and basically failed to do his job once again and somehow rolled out for a lucky touchdown, making it like a 13 or 14 point swing in Andrew's favor. And uh, yeah, that's a pretty crazy string of events right there. So West falls to 4-1 and gets the loss here. Braylon Edwards could not get 105 yards or 45 and a touch for West on Monday Night Football. And next we have Icon City Excitement at Motor City Freshness. And not really a whole lot to say in this match. Brady was on a bye and the Steelers defense was on a bye. And so as a result, Randy had his two main pieces of his team not able to be playing, and it was a relatively easy victory for Doug. After that, we get to Turf Toes at Twin City Tundra. James just didn't have a whole lot going well for him this week. The trade he did to get Roddy White turned out to work well for him, with Roddy White playing well, but he just really didn't have much else. And for Logan, everyone except for the D's showed up, meaning Deshaun and D'Angelo. They didn't play too well, but everyone else played really well for Logan, so he got the win there. Next up here, we'll go through some recent trades. This is basically what the first video of the week is going to consist of. Is going to be the recap, some brief news and recent trades. It's just the commissioner's opinion. I'm wrong just as much as I'm right, so take it with a grain of salt. But I'll run through some trades here, and hopefully future first videos won't be as long as this one will. First trade was the Oracle getting Phillip Rivers and Team Hasselhoff getting the Mats. So Matt Cameron gets the Mats, Matt Ryan and Matt Forte. I think it's a win-win for both teams here. Matt got a solid quarterback in return, and Matt Ryan, I think his upside and his ceiling isn't quite elite, but he's about as consistent as they come. And Forte's been playing well this year, and I don't think this is going to stop because he's so heavily involved in the passing game. And obviously Chris gets the monster upgrade at quarterback. So I really think this was a great trade for both teams involved. We have Eskimo Brothers getting Matt Schaub, Percy Harvin, and Mike Wallace, and Twin City Tundra getting Roddy White, Mike Tolbert, and Danny Amendola. The next three trades all involve me. Not even sure why I should go over these trades, because if you're making the trade, obviously you think it's good for yourself. So it's kind of stupid because I obviously am biased in my opinion on these trades. But here James is just going for a complete overhaul, and I'm trying to add depth. I understand that injuries can be crucial in determining champions. You've got to be able to withstand them because they're going to happen to your team. So I felt that I got a solid must-start quarterback and a couple of solid receivers, and James got Roddy White, who may be his keeper, who knows, for Tier 1, and a couple other solid options as well. So I do think this trade does favor me a little bit, though. Next up, we have Eskimo Brothers getting Chris Wells and Ninja Turtles getting Mike Wallace. This trade was actually done before the previous trade. I wasn't doing a trade with James almost certainly without getting Mike Wallace. I wanted the running back help. I like Chris Wells a lot. I'm not going to call him Beanie, that's stupid. I think he's underperformed so far this year coming off the injury, and I think he'll pick it up. And Andrew gets Mike Wallace, who's a solid fourth receiver and will help him in bye weeks. So I think this is a win-win for both. And finally, earlier this week, I got Steve Smith for the Giants for Ronnie Brown and Nate Washington from West. West gets running back help until Marino gets back. He desperately needs this. And I get my upgrade at receiver that I wanted. I wanted 4 really solid receivers. So now I've got depth at receiver, running back, quarterback, and I'm very, very pleased with my team. Hopefully it's not too late for me to make the playoffs, though time will tell. But that is it for the trades that went down. Hope you enjoyed this recap. Like I said, the future ones won't be 10 minutes like this one. But I think this will make for better recaps throughout the week. So I'll be coming back to you either tomorrow or Saturday with another video doing previews for this upcoming week. And I hope you'll enjoy it. Good luck.